Welcome in A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Monday, October the 20th. So, Tyler Lockett has quit on the Tennessee Titans. He has asked for his release. He has been granted said release. It's a pivot from the conversation that we were going to have. We were going to talk about Mike McCoy's first game as Titans interim coach and how we evaluated that, how different it was, how much promise that is. But the news cycle keeps rolling, and about 10 minutes before we were getting ready to come on, Adam Schefter tweeted that news. So Richie says, it's not like Lockett did anything anyways. Yeah, that's fair. But it does speak to kind of the thing that they're up against right now, which is he's on a one-year deal. That is true. He doesn't want to spend, and I couldn't speak for Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett hasn't done much speaking to us. I do think that it's noteworthy, though, that this player is so fed up, this player who's renowned for being a good teammate, for being a good soldier, and who is working, who actively doesn't want his career to end. It is tough to kind of paint the optics of, okay, will you just stick around here a little longer so we can figure out what we have in Cam Ward? What Tyler Lockett is subtly telling you, even if he's not actively telling you, what's happening there is he's looking around and being like, yeah, that shit ain't worth it. not to me, not right now. I've got more to give at this point in my career. Whether that ends up being true or not, obviously, is a different conversation, but he's not willing to waste it on you, is what that means. So we will talk about the loss of Tyler Lockett. We will talk about how they move forward and what it means for the rest of the wide receivers at this point in time. And you can determine as a matter of fact, I'll give you the prompt here in just a second. What does it mean to you that Tyler Lockett is quitting on the team? Equal Opportunity Smoke says this means Restrepo gets called up, right? Well, no, that's not what that means. Maybe. I think that it's possible, right? Like, I suppose you could go through a number of different wide receivers. Like, if two more wide receivers quit, does that mean Xavier Restrepo gets to play? I mean, I guess, maybe, but that doesn't guarantee it by any stretch of the imagination. Mason Kinsey and James Prochet have both been called up under this staff, basically. Like, I know Brian Callahan's not there anymore, but they did call up Kinsey over Restrepo in this particular situation under the new interim head coach. And so that doesn't guarantee by any stretch of the imagination that Xavier Restrepo is the last guy, okay? Like, Calvin Ridley, I guess, when he's healthy, let's just assume that these guys are healthy. Calvin Ridley, Alec Iamaner, Chimere Dike, James Prochet, Mason Kinsey, Xavier Restrepo, okay? And they may go out and sign another wide receiver or flip somebody else off another team's practice squad to fill that void. That may be immediately above Xavier Restrepo as they get him up to speed. Like, they can play James Prochet and Mason Kinsey in the meantime, and they can go and sign somebody else off the practice squad, another team's practice squad. At this point, like, it's equal opportunity. The same person says, is Restrepo garbage? Be honest, but I mean, yeah, I don't want to. Garbage is a really strong word. I don't ever want to call a human being garbage, but as an NFL football player, he's not currently, and maybe at some point in his career he will be, an NFL quality wide receiver. Now, what is the bar for that? Well, it's precious low around here at this point in time, but he's slow, he's small, and he's best friends with the quarterback, and that's good enough to give him a job here, I suppose. But that's what he is right now. He's too slow and too small. He's not going to win one-on-ones. He's not going to separate of his own volition. Maybe there's something there to be said about the chemistry that he and Cam Ward have, but that was in a completely different offense a calendar year ago, guys. Like, I don't even think it's that applicable to the current situation. Like, a lot of things have changed since Xavier Restrepo and Cam Ward left Miami. Somebody else says, just let Restrepo play, let the fans decide. I mean, I guess that's all well and good, but Yeah, it's not your decision, right? Like if you guys had a say in all of this, maybe things would be different. Maybe things would be better. I have no idea. Surely they can't get much worse at this point in time. And I understand that logic, but if you're Mike McCoy, you're going to make decisions based on who makes the most sense to help you win football games. They keep telling you time and time again that Xavier Restrepo is not going to help them win football games. That doesn't mean that they win football games without him either, but uh yeah, I get that it's frustrating, and I get because you haven't seen it with your own eyes, that you're saying, yeah, prove it to me otherwise. Like, go try it. Prove to me that Xavier Restrepo can't play, and then you'll be in a situation where you shrug your shoulders and say, okay, whatever. If he's not better than Mason Kinsey and he's not better than James Prochet, just put the other two back out there and be damned with Xavier Restrepo. John Vargas says, what do we have to lose at these points? See what guys can do. They are literally telling you that they would rather see every other guy play than play Xavier Restrepo. I'm not saying that they're right about that. I'm just telling you how they're messaging. Maybe that changes this week because a wide receiver literally up and quit on you. But yeah, there are reasons that he's not playing. How good the reasons are, I can't defend their decision making. I don't regularly defend their decision making, but to turn this into to turn Tyler Lockett into a Xavier Restrepo conversation, it's going to be a tough sell to get the organization to move off the position that they want to move off of right now, or that they don't feel it necessary to move off of, or that they think they can get better opportunities out of other guys. So let's get into the show. Welcome to A to Z Sports Primetime. I'm your host, Buck Rising. Yada, yada, you know the rest. From the Nobody Trashes Tennessee T-Dot studios here on this Monday night. The show is presented to you by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer, tworiversford.com. True Math Fitness, where you go for your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. TrueMathFitness.com. Simon Says, the best men's clothing spot in Nashville. Simon Says Nashville.com is where you go. You can find them conveniently located in Wedgwood, Houston. So let's start with Tyler Lockett, and then we can get into the Xavier Restrepo discussion because, for God's sakes, we've been doing this wheels on a bus, round and round type of deal, no matter whether Lockett's on the team or not. So let's start here, and let's talk about why Tyler Lockett is asking out, or the details on Tyler Lockett asking out, because it is worth paying attention to this particular situation. So Schefter reported at first, Lockett's been in the league for 11 years. This is the first year that he's been with the Titans. He was 10 years in Seattle. Limited role, worst offense in football, 10 catches, 70 yards. So basically, he's had 10 yards per game is what he's given them in 7 games. 3-time All-Pro player. It's obviously he's not at that point in his career anymore. If you're a team seeking veteran wide receiver help, that's all well and good. He is officially free to sign with another team starting Wednesday afternoon. So not a lot of detail there. Tyler Lockett obviously hasn't put out a statement. The thing about it is, which is, the connection is, Tyler Lockett grew up a Titans fan. Like, he's talked about that before. That's the first NFL game that he went to see. He has been a fan of the team. Now, like so many other people that spend too much time with the Tennessee Titans organization, he was here for a period of time and said, no, I'm good. Let me get the hell out of here. And we'll see if he ends up on the Raiders with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. I don't know that Seattle certainly doesn't need him back at this point in time. It doesn't make any sense for Seattle to add him into the mix, or even to take another player off their spot. Now, maybe teams that are dealing with significant amount of injuries right now, I don't want to do landing spots for Tyler Lockett. That's not the important thing. So I think that when you talk about what Lockett brings to the table, his departure, all right, is a larger sign of what this organization is. Okay. And I know that you've got signs of that all over the place, and that Amy Adams Strunk is running a house of horrors, and Burke Nihill is running a house of horrors, and Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi have preached patience over panic, and then they fire their coach 6 weeks in, and all these different things. Scott Van Horst says, why not trade? I assume that nobody was trading for him. Like, he's old, he's slower than he has been in his career, and he's not overwhelmingly productive, and he's a very situational type player. I don't know that a team was going to give up. I don't think, based on the fact that he's asked for a release. I think they were exploring trades. I think that his representation leaked that to Adam Schefter. It's the only reason. I mean, Robert has talked about this on the radio show before. Like, what the hell is Tyler Lockett doing on tradable assets? Well, it's because the representation for Tyler Lockett has clearly been considering other options. Okay, he's miserable here. How do we get him out of here? And, you communicate to the foremost information insider in the league, and the foremost information insider in the league puts together a list of available trade targets for teams, and Tyler Lockett's on there, and everybody else in Nashville is looking around being like, what, that guy? Who's going to trade for that guy? Turns out nobody. But at least you can start to message that on the front end. Wasn't successful, so he asks for his release. Here's the thing, though. They brought him in specifically, not just to play a role on offense, not just to primarily be a slot player, but for the purposes of stabilizing a young locker room, helping stabilize things for a young quarterback, and to help them build a culture that is better than what they've had. Leadership qualities that Tyler Lockett has always had in his career. Always had in his career. That has been his MO the entire way through. Now, for some reason, when people come here, they turn into something completely different than they've been their entire career, at least in the last 3 years. Turns out this place is it's rotten. It's rotten. And he's sick of the shit. So it's not enough. Belief in Cam Ward is not enough to keep him around, and helping to calm down the young players and Tony Pollard has talked about this. After the Rams loss, so they were 0-2 at the time, Tony Pollard in the locker room after, so this would have been the lead up to the Colts game, week 3, the lead up to week 3. I believe Colts at home was the week 3 opponent. My memory's I've got a little brain fog. But Tony Pollard, when we talked to him the Thursday before the Colts game, talked about how important Tyler Lockett was to the young players in the room, and that Tyler Lockett came into the locker room after they lost to the Rams and said to all the young players in the locker room, listen, okay, this is what the NFL is. Losses don't mean quite – losses hurt, losses suck, but it's not the end of the world. It's our job to find a way out of this. It's our job to stay committed to the cause. Like, Tyler Lockett is speaking as a player with experience on, like, trying to carry the message of the coaching staff over that, hey, don't quit, stay together, all these things. Mike McCoy has been talking about this all week long. We've got to stay together. We got to find ways to stay together. We've got to come together as a team and all these different things. And so what happens in Mike McCoy's first week plus on the job, I guess technically today would be a full week since Brian Callahan got fired. Tyler Lockett says, kick rocks with all that togetherness shit. I'm out of here. This is awful. And he's not wrong, right? Like, nobody should be mad at Tyler Lockett today. Tyler Lockett was sold something here at the end of his career that is not, it's not true. Like, it's just simply not true. This is not a functional organization. This is a mess. Maybe at some point in time it will be, but it's not right now. And Tyler Lockett doesn't want to waste what remains of his career. Tyler Lockett may retire at the end of the season for all I know, or he could end up on a Super Bowl contender and make a run like D-Hop did last year. He's looking around and saying, yeah, this is completely different from what I thought it was going to be. And I'm not going to sacrifice the rest of my career here when I think that I still have more to give to an organization. So Gary 2 times says, I'm mad you're talking about Lockett like he should have an opinion. He is washed. Okay. What if he goes somewhere else and isn't? You thought DeAndre Hopkins was washed when things started to tail off here for D-Hop, and it turns out, he wasn't washed. He's just miserable. I'm not saying that Tyler Lockett is going to be successful somewhere else, but people, listen, guys, I know, like, it's tough when it's your favorite team and you want your team to be successful, and you want to give double middle fingers to the people that quit on your team and all these different things. By the way, your Two Rivers Ford take, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. What was your reaction to Tyler Lockett quitting at this point in time? I promise you, Tyler Lockett is a really good person. Like, he's a really good person. He's committed to the cause. and all these different things. But that's not what this place is. This place is hell. It's football hell. It's a really hard thing for fans to stomach because you want it to be different. You want it to be the player's fault as opposed to the organization's fault. It's not. It's not Tyler Lockett's fault. It's really not. I know that is I know that that's not what you want to hear, but like just think about what it was in Houston a couple of weeks ago. Two Rivers Ford Take presented by Two Rivers Ford. Quality American-made Ford vehicles, award-winning customer service. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com for more details. So, what was your reaction to Tyler Lockett quitting at this point, asking for his release and wanting to sign with another team because he wants to go play at a higher level? Everything about Tyler Lockett's career ever has been positive. Okay. And not just like the results have been positive, like he as a person has been positive. Ethan Brogdon says, so whose fault is it? Well, it's ultimately Amy's. Like Amy Adams Strunk. Anytime the Titans screw up, the easy thing is to say, well, it's Amy's fault. Like this is her team. This is her organization. She's empowered these people. These people have made X decisions. Y has been the result. The Y has been awful. And at the end of the day, like, yes, Amy Adams Strunk is responsible for the Titans turning into a shithole. That's what it is. It's Amy, then it's Burke Nihill, then it's Chad Brinker, and, the wheels on the bus go round and round type of situation. I think I've already said that once today, but you get my point. Like, that's the pecking order of suck at this point in time. Amy, team president Burke Nihill, president of football operations Chad Brinker. Those are the three people who have been here, not the longest, but the three people in positions of power who have who now are actively contributing to the downfall of this. I don't doubt that they have the best intentions in mind. Turns out they're wrong about a lot of shit. I don't doubt that they want to win. Turns out they don't know how to win. Paul Price says, are y'all sure the Titans are still an attractive destination? Well, no, they're not attractive. And that's the thing. Like, people are going to tell you that the Titans are an attractive job, this job cycle, when it comes to, because, they have a young quarterback, and, Nashville's such a great place, and, they have $100 million in cap space next year. Yeah, but if you're a coach with options, you're going to look around and be like, I don't know about all that. Like, and is Cam Ward even right now, and it's early in his career. It doesn't mean that he can't be good. It doesn't mean that he can't be, the next Drake May success story building off of that. But a couple of things had to fall in place for Drake May to become that, right? I think we can all acknowledge. Coaches with options are going to look around and be like, I don't know how actually attractive that is. Because the thing that you don't want, guys, and we'll talk about this more this offseason, you don't want the next Brian Callahan. You don't want Joe Brady. You don't want, who's another coordinator? Another coordinator that is the next first-time head coach. You don't want the person who's going to take this job because it's just an NFL job. Like, okay, there's only 32 of them. Here's my chance. I'll try and make it work here. You don't want that person. You want the person that's going to come in and identify, okay, this works here. This doesn't work here. I know what works because I've done this before. You guys need to listen to me. I'm the football guy. The coach that you're going to hire is the football guy. So that person has to be able to come in here and identify what makes this an attractive job. And ultimately, if they deem this an attractive job, you want somebody to take it because they believe that they can do something here, not just because it's the next job, not just because there's only 32 of them. That, I think, gets caught up too much in the cycle, too much in the wash. The idea of, well, there's only 32 jobs. Of course it's attractive. Don't be stupid. Yeah, okay. But if you're just getting the next fresh young coordinator, because it is, in fact, well, it's 32 jobs. I can only get one of them. Oh, my God, it's this one? Fine. I'll make this work. That's how you end up Brian Callahan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a pitfall that you can fall into. Now, I don't think that that's what they would prefer to do this time around. But they are going to look at this situation and say, yeah, it's going to take more than just it's an NFL job to sell the right person on this circumstance. Christofero says, Lockett is such a stand-up guy. Let him walk. Great character guy. Hate to lose him in the locker room. Yeah, he is that. He absolutely is that. And he's saying enough of this. It's probably killing his love of football at this point in time. And he thinks that he can contribute somewhere else. We will see. If he's able to do that, it doesn't much matter now. He's gone. So Now what happens? On Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, in the comment section if you would like to participate. What would you do with the wide receiver room? Because it's possible that they try to trade Ridley. I don't know definitively that they're going to try to trade Ridley, and obviously he's dealing with an injury right now. But let me know how you would handle. What is your solution to Tyler Lockett quitting? Like, what would you do with the wide receiver room after the fact? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. In the comment section, if you would like to participate there. While you guys do that, I will remind you that TrueMath Fitness will help you achieve your fitness goals. Go to TrueMathFitness.com for your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. No workout ever recycled or repeated. TrueMathFitness.com for more details. They will help you accomplish your fitness goals no matter what your level of fitness is. TrueMath Fitness is conveniently located in downtown Nashville in the Gulch, and they are, speaking of Titans, Worth Campbell, the owner and head trainer of TrueMath Fitness, is a diehard Titans fan. Him and his family have had a suite at Nissan Stadium for quite some time, and he is in a situation where he can commiserate with you about how bad the Titans are, because that's what he does with me every time I go in there on a Friday. He asks me what the hell his football team is doing. I tell him, well, they stink, and he says, yeah, I know, and we go about the workout. So you can work out your frustrations at TrueMathFitness.com. Let me respond to this. Well, I don't have to respond to this text right now, not necessarily relevant to the topic of conversation, though I do have several texts out about this topic of conversation about, hey, what the hell are you guys going to do at this point in time? So Bryce Oliver is also in the mix, but at this point, he's still working his way back from injury. Will he be ready this week against Indianapolis? That we don't know, but he's coming off a significant enough knee injury. So your options, and I'll read them to you based on what's on the Titans roster and the Titans practice squad for them to be able to choose from. The current wide receiver group without Tyler Lockett looks like this. Calvin Ridley, who we know is missing time with an injury. Bryce Oliver, who we know is missing time and has missed time with injury. Van Jefferson, Chimere Dike, Alec Iamander. So those are your active roster wide receivers without Tyler Lockett. So that's 5. The guys on the practice squad are as follows. You've got, of course, Xavier Restrepo. You've got Mason Kinsey. Those are your wide receiver options at this point in time, and James Prochet. So 3 on the practice squad, 5 on the active roster, and 2 dealing with injury. So I mean, in my opinion, it will be when Ridley's healthy, Ridley, Iamander, DK. If Ridley's not healthy, Iamander, DK, Van Jefferson. If Bryce Oliver is available, I think he's obviously your 4th. And then I do think that what they will do, they could prove me wrong. This could be the week that Xavier Restrepo finally gets up there. But I do think that they would go Kinsey and Prochet both before they went Restrepo. And I still think they may sign another player off a team's practice squad, another wide receiver off a team's practice squad, and come in here and usurp Restrepo or play the other guys until they can get the new guy up to speed and then play him over Restrepo. So I don't think that there is a path to Xavier Restrepo being on the game day roster on Sunday when they play at Indianapolis. I could be wrong. It's early in the week. Obviously, this news has just happened, so they will make whatever adjustments they make. But at this point in time, they are telling you that Restrepo is below Prochet and Kinsey, or Kinsey and Prochet, depending on the game, depending on the special teams experience. And we know that special teams experience does matter if they're going to roster a player on a game day spot. So I know that's probably frustrating to you. Bryce Oliver, though, is the best option of any of the reserve wide receivers that they have. The biggest issue with Bryce Oliver is that he's currently not healthy. So we will see if that becomes the case this week, and if they can get him back in the lineup. Obviously, he's missed a good deal of time at this point, and it would not be necessarily a seamless transition. But yeah, Tyler Lockett out because this place is it's a career killer here lately to play for the Tennessee Titans organization, and they are definitely staring down the barrel of 1-7 with the division-leading, AFC-leading Indianapolis Colts, the best offense in football right now, and a defense that's good enough at this point in time. All right, Robert, you have anything for in case you missed it?
No.
Okay, well, who's this gentleman behind you?
Oh, that's my dad. I'm at my dad's house today. I just came to
Oh,
see him a little bit. He's got pants on, don't worry.
just
He's
there.
yeah, he just likes to see how this stuff works, he's not like super technical or versed and stuff like that, so it just depends what he is doing. The whole reason I was holding my headset is because I broke another one. If you hadn't noticed, you didn't take the bait. I thought that this would trigger you into a spiral.
I may not have
Uh,
seen it.
damn it, where is
It's
it?
pot like that. That's the unfortunate thing. People think that I can read all the comments. Like I have an easier time reading comments on the radio show than I do on primetime anymore, just because fortunately there's so many comments, and it's tough for me to talk and sift through when it's just me and I don't have the two of you to spell me from time to time. Is there something that would trigger me? What is the triggering? What is the offense that has been committed in the chat? Are you having a hard time finding it?
Nah, it's attractive. There are only 32 of these. After at the beginning of it, you said, I don't want people to say this is going to be attractive. There's only 32 of these. So I thought
Yeah,
that would
Keith.
trigger you.
But if you're 32nd out of 32nd and you want a coach who has done this before and wants the kind of support that a veteran coach would have, like it is triggering in the sense that that's just a lazy thing that people say. Like the Browns are a job, but I don't know how many people are wanting to walk into the Cleveland Brown situation. The Jets are a job. How much is Aaron Glenn enjoying his one of 32 jobs right now? The Dolphins are a job, and that shit seems rotten to the core. You talk about the Titans in a rotting organization. Miami is in hell. These things, yes, people are correct about that, but like just because it's a job doesn't mean it's a good option. And if it's not a good option for a quality coach, then that quality coach is probably going to look for a better option. Or frankly, they could just sit it out. I mean, what's the
Ben,
Bears coach's name? What's the Bears
Ben
coach's name?
Johnson
Ben
or
Johnson
the
straight
coach
up turned them down.
or the coach that Mike Vrabel sat out a year. I mean,
Yeah.
part of that may be under the assumption that he knew the New England job would become available, and part of it was probably I'm not going to go to these bottom feeder organizations. Uh,
Yeah.
a team that is no longer a bottom feeder organization. The Broncos. The Broncos got one of their key free agent acquisitions back this week in Dre Greenlaw, who was sitting out and been sitting out for the entire season due to an injury he sustained with the 49ers. I got to get rid of this background because it's making me look like I am talking very slowly and it's messing me up. Okay. Bye, Dad. Oh, yeah, I'm normal now. Bye, Dad. Get your freaking toes off my shoulder. Dre Greenlaw, exceptional player. A lot of people compared him to Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, any of the great linebackers of the past from the San Francisco 49ers. So it was unexpected that he left, and the 49ers made all attempts to keep him, but he went to Denver. Like I said, he was activated this last week, and he was very apparent in the game and the Broncos' victory over the Giants, which was a more improbable victory than the Titans had against the Cardinals. If it tells you about anything about how batshit this game was,
I
and
still haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to watching it back on Game Pass tomorrow when I get some time.
it will be a fun watch for you. You are going to watch this and go, "Holy shit! The Giants are for real." Any possible lucky break at the, I would say, first 40 minutes of the game, it seems like every positive shake that could happen went the Giants' way. But alas, the Broncos kicked a game-winning field goal with time expiring for them to win. And Dre Greenlaw, rather than celebrate with his team, the team that he played his first game with this year, the team that he is expected to be a defensive leader, rather than celebrating with that team, he decided that he would go and chastise a referee. Not just chastise a referee, but the official language was made threatening remarks as he attempted to leave the field. Dre Greenlaw is being suspended for one game. A team that is right now playoff bound, a team that right now is not rudderless, but you have to expect that the Broncos are not going to be happy about this shit, dude.
Yeah.
You hadn't played all freaking year. All
Yeah.
freaking year, this team has needed someone like you, the best defense in the league. You were literally the keystone species to make this a Super Bowl contender. And then your first game, you come back and pull some stupid shit like this. I think that if you make a mistake that is not just a mistake, but is also a reckless, stupid mistake, the penalty should be doubled. He should be suspended. Brian Branch, for example, that was a mistake, but I don't think it
Him
was
fighting
stupid.
Juju.
I don't think it was stupid.
Yeah.
I can understand why you would do that. Greenlaw, you won the freaking game.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if the referees were messing with you the whole time? What do you care? This was one of the most boneheaded decisions in the NFL this year on one of the NFL's most polarizing teams. I don't know if the Broncos are good or not. And I think that's the theme for the NFL this year. Oh, the Falcons are good because they just beat the Bills. Just kidding. They lost to the 49ers without Fred Warner and Bosa. Oh, but the Bills are good, right? No, they lost to the Falcons, but they beat the Ravens. Oh, the Ravens are 1-5, though. I know you thought that they would be good, but they also suck. I think you could name on your hand 3 teams in the NFL that are good. The Chiefs are good, the Colts are good, and
NFC tough right now.
the Rams,
Lions,
the Rams and Lions,
Rams.
but like the teams you would expect to be at the top, the Eagles, they have their own problems. They have their own issues. AJ Brown can catch as many touchdowns as they want, and they're still going to want Nick Sirianni ran out of the city. It's the same thing to do Doug Peterson. Same thing to do Andy Reid. That's just how that city is. But this year in the NFL is fun, not for me, but for fans of the NFL, because you can recognize that the parity is real. There is actual parity. It's not the dynasty log-jammed playoff teams that we've become accustomed to, like in the 2000s, where it was a guarantee that it was going to be Patriots, Steelers. Who the hell came out of the AFC South back then? Still the Colts with Peyton Manning. But you know what I mean? We're out of that. It's not just, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, everyone's going to the playoffs. Yay. There's a little bit of parity, even to the chagrin of Titans fans, with the Colts being the number 1 team in the NFL right now, and who probably have a good argument to be that they should be undefeated. I think this is a fun football season, even if we are struggling.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I guess we should just pivot to being an NFL show at some point in time when both of these. I mean, you're getting Lamar back at least. Like at least you have something.
You would think so, but he didn't practice today. Ann says resident Michigander and the Lions are good. Yeah, but we didn't think that shit week 1 when they got blown out by the Packers. Oh, the Packers are the best team in the league. Then they lose to the freaking Browns. Like everyone we think is good, their flaws are very apparent on tape. So it's not like they're these superhero, Mr. Incredible teams that are bulletproof. Everyone has flaws. Everyone can get got. No one is good, which means everyone is good. No one is special, or everyone is special, which means no one is special. I like that.
You know what? I like this comment. Retro on YouTube says, if Restrepo balls out when he's called up, that's assuming he does get called up. And listen, I'm not preying on the young man's downfall. Like, just saying that's an assumption that you think is going to happen. And maybe it takes a few more injuries and a couple of trades for him to get there, but maybe it does. Okay. And he says, I hope he goes on your show and other shows where he was labeled as not good enough. I hope he asks you what you meant by not seeing a path for him to be called up. And it will be easy for us to look him dead in the face and be like, yes, you are small and slow. And those guys typically don't make it. I know that sounds disrespectful. I know that sounds personal, but like, it's the NFL. Like, again, the NFL, any NFL team, Robert, any NFL team could have picked him up at any point this season off the practice.
And still could to this day.
Still can. Nothing. There is not a single NFL team, including the one that he's on, that feels he's good enough to be on a roster or on a roster above somebody else. Right.
Right.
So that's not a personal thing. The talent evaluators of all 32 teams, not the talking heads, not, shit posters on Twitter. All 32 teams are saying, yeah, I don't want that guy over this guy. It's not a hard thing. And if Xavier Restrepo had that issue with us, of course, we would provide him that commentary because that's what's happened so far. Anyway, we don't have to spend more time on it.
No, but I think it is a good lesson for fans because I've been in that shoe before where you feel like you have to defend people like that. And say we did have Restrepo on our show tomorrow, and he said, why'd you guys say this? And it's as easy as saying, because it's true. The same way it would be true as if we brought in a first-year Buck reporter and we had him interview you. We would be able to tell Buck, hey, right now, you are not good enough, dude. You suck. Your questions suck. You don't look attractive. There's nothing about this that's sellable. But that doesn't mean that he can't become something that's operatable in the NFL. No one's shitting on this guy for the sake of shitting on him. People are just telling you what is going on. What's the deal? Like next year we make him into training camp and he looks a little quicker and he's getting open. He's getting separation. It's not that he's not fast enough. It's not that he's too small. It's not that he's doing a core part of his job well. And you can't put somebody on the field like that. So anyway.
It's funnier when you have to do this whole segment holding your ear piercing.
1 second. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
You look like you're taking orders at the drive-thru.
You want me to go back to Dad's? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mom said come down for dinner. Yeah. Hot dogs again. Shit. All right. I'm out of here. Hot
dog. Get off my screen. Brown and Casey says, what was the nickname they gave Restrepo? Jawbreaker. Which is so awful. So awful. His teammates, though, out of love. They kid because they love. Jawbreaker is a tough nickname, though, for, obvious reasons. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight on the Primetime program. We didn't have shit else to talk about, so fortunately we got a little news. Radio show tomorrow. We will have Jason Fitz. We will have you guys from 10 to 1 on 104.5 The Zone. We will await whatever transactions they make. They may make a transaction. They may decide to roll status quo. We will update you on injuries as a result. And it will be interesting to see. I mean, at least there is news items to keep them interesting because God knows the football is a struggle right now. We got an interesting quarter and a half of football on Sunday, which I guess is progress. But, I am actually getting a very important Titans call right now. So perhaps I will leave you with that, Robert. If you can why don't you go ahead and wrap this thing?
All right. On the show tomorrow, we got Jason Fitz. It's going to be great. He's going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I think we have Josh Pate talk about the weekend of college sports. Appreciate everybody who's on the show. If you missed the show today, Ben Jones, former Titans center, did a great job breaking down the Titans issues on offense. Brett Kern did the same thing. They do that every Monday. We will be back with you on Wednesday. Tomorrow night is Easton. Everybody enjoy whatever the hell you're going to do on this Monday night. Hopefully watching some good football. Hopefully it doesn't suck. We will see you guys whenever the hell we see you.
Acapella. Here we go. What's my name again?
Jonathan Davis.
Can you introduce me as if I was like at Bonnaroo?
On Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Like it's Saturday Night Live.
No, it's Bonnaroo week. Let's do it like he's the headliner. He's headlining Saturday night at Bonnaroo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Davis.